Welcome back, you guys. I'm the Psychopath, and we're continuing today the series on learning how to get started into the gaming world. So today, we got a very exciting thing, and this is my personal favorite. It's actually the console that I have sitting in my house right now, where my TV is. We're going to talk about the PS4 and why it's a fantastic console. Now first, we're going to take a look at what the PS4 and the controller looks like. So stick around, we'll see what that's like. So, first up, we got the PS4 controller itself. Now, the controller you might think is a bit weird, and it's definitely an oddity compared to the rest of the list. If you look over here, you see there's an X, square, triangle, and circle button. This has been Japan's design for the PS4, and really not Japan, but Sony's design for the PS4, since the original PlayStation 1 came out all the way back in 1994. So now, these little thumb grips here, these aren't what comes with. I actually got sponsored a while ago by a company called Fade Grips. And these are actual custom grips that actually grip onto the controller better. Now on top of that, you got a PS button. Now this PS button, which you'll see in a second, or here in a second, will actually turn on the PS4. It's got an options menu which replaces the start button of the previous 3 generations of PlayStation. And just like everything else on the PS4's controller, or any other game's controller, you have the L buttons in the back. So you have the here we have, which is actually backwards on here, upside down, that's exactly why. Okay, hang on, my bad. So here, you've got L2 and you've got L1, and then you have R1 and you have R2. So this literally means left 1, left 2, right 1, right 2, and there are certain button combinations that are associated with this to create different commands in the game. Basically, since PlayStation 2, there's always been these L1 and L2 and R1 and R2, and they weren't actually on the original other consoles, but they've been added on over the years. So why don't we go ahead, we're going to turn the PS4 on, which you can do either by pushing a button right here, where I don't think you can see, but that little yellow, like orangey light that you can see, you can push the power button on here, and you hear that beep, and that means that it's turning on. And if we go over now and turn the TV on, which you'll see in just a second with my crappy painting over there. When this thing turns on in just a second, you're going to see, welcome back, press the PS button to use the controller. So, we push the PS button here, which turns on the controller, and then we go back to the TV, we're ready to log into our character, or to our profile. Now, it's definitely a different way of doing that, and we're going to show you the second way of turning on the PS4, just from your couch without having to walk over to the console. So you can see my TV's on. So if we go here, grab the controller, and just push the PS button, you'll hear that beautiful beep again. Now the PS4 is turning on, it's running, and then in a moment here, you're going to see the TV go into the PlayStation area, like the opening screen. But now, instead of it saying, hey, you got to connect your PS4 controller, because pushing the PS button turns the PS4 controller on, it's already connected, and we can go and we can explore the main menu whenever this thing loads in. That's actually on my Netflix right now, but that's another cool thing we're going to talk about momentarily, but this is the PS4 menu. We'll get a better look at it in just a moment. So, like I was showing you guys before, this is what the PlayStation home button looks like. A little bit better of a home menu than you can see from my camcorder, right? So if we go into the PlayStation area, my controller battery is low, I know, it's very bad. But you have 2 definites that are always going to be on the PlayStation. You have, on the menu, you have the PlayStation Store, which gives you access to the actual PlayStation Store, where you can buy movies and games and apps and all that kind of stuff. And then all the way at the end, it'll have your library, which will show everything that's installed and everything that you purchased. I have 85 games, and between games and apps, I have 85 things that I purchased and can play whenever I want. So with that being said, you'll also see in here, either at the far most, you'll see which is your current CD, which is installed into your PS4, like whatever is actually inserted into the PS4 physically itself, it'll always show up first. But if I were to turn on, say, Assassin's Creed Origins or Call of Duty Warzone, and that pops up and I exit, now suddenly it's going to be replacing this one as the furthermost, and this will be pushed back to this position, kind of showing what was open last when the PS4 was last turned on. That's how it works. They also have a really cool TV and video section, which has all of your apps like Disney+, Netflix, YouTube, PlayStation Store for the movies, Prime Video, whatever it's going to be, you can have it here, and you can get a full list of things on the PlayStation Store for video apps and movie apps. They also have their own Spotify add-on, which is really cool, and I use that all the time when I'm listening to music, when I'm like cleaning, or just playing a game, even because you can have the audio of this turned on while you're playing a video game, which is really cool. Now the other thing is install space. My PS4 that I got, the PS4 Slim, has 1 terabyte of data available. So these games are probably taking up 400 or 500 gigabytes because the game sizes are quite large. But I have these all because right now we got the whole coronavirus thing happening, and I have a lot of time that I'm spending at home. So all these games I've bought but never actually beaten. So that's what the entire purpose of these next however long it is going to be. So there's definitely another couple of cool features. For example, you can actually stream from the PS4 to your PC as long as it's on the same home network and as long as your PS4 is what's called a primary PS4. So like if you own multiple PS4s for whatever reason, maybe you have one in your house, maybe one in your parents' house, maybe one in a country house, whatever the situation may be, you're going to have an extra PS4. Only one can be your primary PS4. And the primary PS4, as long as you're on the same home network, you'll be able to connect through your PC through an app called PlayStation Remote Play or PS4 Remote Play. I can't remember the exact app, but basically you'll just pop it up onto your computer as long as you have a plugged-in PS4 controller through a USB connection to your PC. Really simple. I'm probably making it sound more complicated than it needs to. PlayStation has a friends list. They have messages you can send. Whenever a game has an update for download, the PlayStation is, if you're in either rest mode or while it's active, will actively download the update file while the game is while you're either playing or while it's stationary or while you're watching Netflix, whatever the situation may be. It'll actually download the game, download the app, and get all that stuff organized for you. Overall, it's a really powerful system. I have very fond memories of playing the PS4, or PlayStation rather, back when it came out. I was at my friend's house, and we were playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater, which is where a really popular song called Superman, I can't remember the band's name, but it's called Goldfinger, that's it. Superman by Goldfinger. We'll leave a link down below for that song just because that is a huge fan favorite of mine. Anyways, you guys, this is what it is for the PS4. Now, a couple of cool things for the PS4, a couple of like the PlayStation exclusives. You can get games like Until Dawn, which is a great horror game. You can get The Last of Us, which is the second game is coming out relatively soon on the PS4. You can get God of War, you can get Ratchet & Clank. These are just some of the amazing titles that the PlayStation has as an exclusive. And by exclusive, I literally mean just on the PlayStation, because most of the games between Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PS4... Yeah, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, PS4. Sorry, I zoned out there for a brief second. It's pretty early in the morning where I am. Those, they'll have a lot of shared games, a lot of similar titles that you can play between them. You can't save data and change data between because of server connectivity issues, obviously. But the games are easily accessible on all those consoles, but some have exclusives. Sorry guys, one last thing that I wanted to mention before we actually finish this off and move on to the Xbox, which we're going to be covering next. I wanted to let you guys know that this is actually getting really annoying with the glasses in my face. Okay, so yeah, one cool thing that a lot of these new, well not a lot, all of these new consoles have is that they have an online feature. So for example, PlayStation has PlayStation Plus, where it has a really cool couple of features. One, it allows you to have online connectivity, so like you could play something like Fortnite or Modern Warfare with your friends instead of playing alone online. Another cool thing that PlayStation Plus has, that has free games every month. So literally, like this month, 2 new games came out, but sometimes there'll be as many as 4 or 5 games that are coming out. And it's not like new releases, it's games that have been on the store for a while, but you get some really, really, really good deals from the store. So it's definitely worth taking a look every month. It's 15 Canadian, I believe, or 12 Canadian to get PlayStation Plus per month. You can pay the price of playing a new game, which is like $79.99 Canadian again, to get PlayStation Plus for a year, which is a really good deal, way better than paying like $12-13 a month for it. Anyways, you guys, we're going to cover Xbox tomorrow. I will see you guys then.